Hi folks, we are recording today a special blog just based on blockchain technology, how it affects the engineering and manufacturing industries, what changes are apparent and what's coming. First and foremost, I attended a seminar this week down at the London Excel. It was a conference to do with blockchain technology, data center world, cloud expo, the smart internet of things and digital transformation. A great few days. While there, I managed to attend a seminar specifically on blockchain technology, how it's going to affect the UK engineering and manufacturing supply chain. So I should state that blockchain technology is not, I'm no expert in. I am what you would call a lay person, and therefore we have included some links for you to follow up after this if you were interested in more in the technological side, what's actually out there, or indeed the attendees. What I should say, it was very clear from the seminar that the technology is coming. When I think of blockchain technology, I think of cryptocurrencies, I think of Bitcoin, I think of online transactions. However, the disruption within the supply chain is really evident, especially where it's already disrupted things like final mile delivery. It's affected the offshore shipping industry to a point now where there's an open and transactional ecosystem within those environments. So while I was there, I grabbed the mic and I asked a very simple question. How can UK engineering and manufacturing companies best prepare for the blockchain revolution? Before I actually go into the answer to that question, it was a really well-rounded answer by the panel. I should talk about the industry experts. First and foremost, we had an expert from the world of shipping and logistics who had seen the direct impact that blockchain technologies has had on that global industry, the 65,000 ships that are involved in this space. I should state it was very evident that final mile delivery, blockchain technology has almost revolutionised the whole business space. I should say that there was other experts on the panel, including people that were involved in actually developing that blockchain technology, but also those who are involved in investment finance for emerging technologies from a VC basis. So pretty well-rounded panel. Hope you enjoy the feature. So what is blockchain in the manufacturing space? Well, it was explained that it was about creating the future of how things are built, involving an end-to-end trackable ecosystem where every step in the chain is open and visible. They're aiming to build this ecosystem out so customers and clients and or suppliers within the chain have an open and transactional process from raw material through component design and build through to main manufacturing. So whether you're an OEM, whether or not you're an end client, whether or not you're a component manufacturer or involved in the raw material sector, the ecosystem is aimed at you. The impact on supply chain logistics is already evident. Track and trace technologies we're all familiar with through the trucking and or land-based transport methods. However, the shipping industry, which is a really complex industry, there's 65,000 ships, there might be hundreds of thousands of products on each ship, and the track and trace technologies that are involved there mean product tracking delivery is now really open. So what does it mean to engineering and manufacturing companies? Well, companies who are further up in the chain, who are the principal buyers, are going to expect that manufacturing companies are able to be involved in the blockchain. What does that mean? Well, that means you need to be digitally ready. You need to be digitally ready in a number of areas. So just to remind you of the question I asked, how can companies involved in the UK engineering and manufacturing space be readily prepared for the blockchain revolution? The answer I received was really well balanced, and the good news is the first thing that came out of their mouths was, whatever you do, don't overspend. Put simply, to be digitally ready for blockchain, you have to analyze some manual processes that exist within your business. You may have already automated a number of these things, certainly the signing in and out of goods. However, I'm going to cover the most typical areas of concern for companies already engaged in the blockchain environment, and therefore by sourcing technologies for your own company, you should be there or thereabouts ready for blockchain. So manual processes, where do they exist and how do you get around them? So how do you order goods from your own suppliers? Bearing in mind, if you are not the bottom end of the chain, if you're not dealing in raw materials, there will be a supplier below you that will be involved in this blockchain. And how do you order those goods? Is it manual? Is it digital? How clients place contracts and orders with you. So this was a new one to me, whereby the supply chain ecosystem will be a digitally transformed order basis and indeed transactional basis based on those orders. So how are you doing this right now? How are clients placing contracts with you? How are you signing off on work? That will have to be digitalized at some point. How you transact with organisations from an invoicing perspective. This technology is already in a lot of organisations, so I won't spend any time on that, but it is on a pay and bill basis. How you manage the production timing estimation for products that your business is manufacturing. This is a really important part of the blockchain. Supply chain delivery and logistics will be measured on these types of performance metrics. It's really important that whatever technology you go with, that it has some facility for production timings. How you manage quality standard and certification. Now this was something that was laboured quite heavily within the presentation, and indeed with the companies offering these technologies, is that when these goods leave your organisation, how have you inspected, how have you stamped their quality, and how have you certified that they are good to go? If any of those processes are still manual, that's something that you would probably want to include in any scope of work or any digital transformation process. Finally, how you transact your goods sign-out process. Most organisations already have some form of automation here, but it would be remiss of me if I didn't mention it. The good news is, I'm just referring to the first point, is don't overspend. Some of these technologies already exist, so that you may not have to go and source something that's too bespoke. There was specific reference to organisations involved in automotive, pharmaceutical, healthcare. If you're involved in any of those spaces, there are already some technologies that are out there. These technologies obviously offer economy of scale, and therefore trying to get off-the-shelf products may be the best solution for you in the shorter term. However, the summary recommendation was to look for digital technologies that can transform your manual processes whilst engaging those important elements that have already been discussed, and that they are reasonably open to other technologies from an API perspective. If you don't know the term API, again, we've included a link to API. So that was the summary. So just to put them on the screen one more time, analyse manual processes, goods ordering, how clients place contracts, how you transact with organisations from invoicing, how you manage the production timing, how you manage quality standards and certification, and how you transact your goods sign-out process. Ultimately, blockchain is coming, and it isn't just on a transactional basis. So from a competitive advantage point of view, it's probably worth looking at this in the next couple of financial years. The shipping industry was forecasted to be complete in the next 12 months, and therefore end user clients are going to be looking to secure blockchain ready partners within the next couple of years. So this is probably sooner than a lot of businesses would have thought. However, I hope you enjoyed it, and as I said, we are lay people when it comes to this. There's plenty of reference material out there. We would recommend that you spend some time researching blockchain in your space. Other than that, thank you for your time, and take care. We'll speak to you soon.